Hello, once again. I'm Susan Littlefield, and it is time to take a look at what's been moving in these agricultural markets for today. And to say it's an interesting trade, at least we're going to bring in Kyle Bumsted to join us right now. And Kyle, I tell you, it has been kind of a crazy roller coaster ride. When you look at this cattle complex today, it has been all over the board.
Yes, ma'am, it has. We started off early this morning. We started off on just kind of a defensive note here with a lot of those headlines of the Mexican border opening up and the tariff talk, and people are debating over whether the tariffs coming in out of Canada, the live cattle and the feeder cattle that cross up there, if that's bullish or bearish. But we did see these feeders go on, press up to a new high on the day here about that 9:30 time frame. And then here, just a few minutes before we started this recording here, I'm going to say about 10 or so, we made new lows on the day here. We dropped these March feeders back to 272.80. As of now, they're at 273.50. So there's got to be another headline out there somewhere that I have not seen yet that dropped these feeders. But when I look at what happened here with the cash index looks like it's going to be down about $1.05 here today when the Merc updates it later. And there's a question out there that's floating around with a lot of cattle producers out there, a lot of feed yards. I stopped by some feed yards over the weekend when I was traveling, and a lot of folks are looking at this feeder board saying, you know what, these feeders are way too high in relation to those deferred live cattle contracts. So, and this is all coming off the heels of what the industry thinks was a bullish report here last Friday with this annual inventory report. But when you really dig into those numbers, it really wasn't as bullish as it kind of sounded, because some of our numbers were at the high or above the upper end of expectations. So it is an estimate report that's made up of estimates. So I have to keep in mind that I have to look at daily what the market's telling me. What the market's telling me today is looking at for cash cattle to probably be steady at best here this week to start out, kind of watching that box beef market. But we do see the Fed gaining on the April, as it should, because cash last week here in Nebraska came in around that 210 to 210.5 area, and anywhere from around 329 to 333 on a dress basis. The South, they trade a lot of 209, and we're sitting here with the Fed board at 204.5 to 205. So when you look at it, you see this February live cattle board keep a little bit of support here on the breaks if we can keep this cash market together. Now, on the deferred contracts, I'm a little bit concerned here. We could see some liquidation happening here from non-commercial funds. Funds did add here, looking at that commitments traders report, they did add on the live cattle side of things here, but they did lighten up their feeder position by just a few hundred contracts. So we do definitely need to watch that close here on Tuesday, and that's going to set the tone here for what the funds likely did when we see the report on Friday.
All right, we are going to break into more of that and a lot more coming up later today during the Channel Final Bell with Kyle Bumsted. And by the way, if you don't catch it live, you can pick it up as a podcast through our website at ruralradionetwork.com. I'm Susan Littlefield for the Rural Radio Network.